From Silicon Valley boardrooms to suburban gym locker rooms, people are injecting a new class of compounds to optimize their bodies. The promises are massive. Users claim these injections can melt away stubborn fat, heal torn tendons in record time, and even reverse the biological clock. At their core, these compounds are called peptides. At the cellular level, they are simply short chains of amino acids. Think of them as the basic biological Legos that snap together to build the human body. But if these are naturally occurring building blocks, why has injecting them become a multi-billion-dollar biological gamble? A common defense you'll hear from biohackers is that peptides are entirely natural because they're already present in the protein-rich foods we eat, like steak or chicken breast. That is technically true, but human digestion changes the equation. When you eat protein, your gut acid tears those peptide chains apart, reducing them to raw amino acids to be burned as basic fuel. While the gut harvests nutrients for general health, a synthetic injection delivers a high-potency signal directly into the blood. Most traditional pill-based medications act like a blunt instrument. They strike a wide array of cells, sending out shockwaves experienced as side effects. But synthetic chains seek individual receptors, triggering a precision response without disturbing surrounding tissue. Confusing a nutrient used for fuel with a synthetic signaling molecule ignores the reality of how these substances actually manipulate our biology. None of this means peptides are inherently bad. In fact, they form the foundation of some of our most vital modern medicines. The very first isolated peptide utilized in medicine was insulin. Discovered in 1921, it has saved millions of lives. Today, Tier 1 peptide drugs, like GLP-1s used for weight loss, achieve highly effective results because they endure years of rigorous clinical trials and strict federal regulation to prove they are safe for human use. This brings us to another popular intervention, often discussed alongside peptides, TRT, or testosterone replacement therapy. TRT requires lifelong management and is strictly justified only by clinically confirmed hormone deficiencies, not because someone feels generally tired. Then there is NAD+, often lumped in with these compounds. It is a cellular energy coenzyme. Clinical trials show it can offer a mild reduction in fatigue, but it lacks the superhuman anti-aging properties heavily marketed online. True medical optimization relies on testing, verified clinical deficits, and a doctor's close supervision. That medical rigor disappears entirely when we look at gym peptides like BPC-157 and TB-500. These are banned in competitive sports and exist completely outside the boundaries of traditional medicine. While these specific compounds show impressive healing properties in lab rats, there is virtually zero long-term safety data for humans. They are legally sold through a massive loophole. Vendors list them online with a strict disclaimer: research chemicals, not intended for human consumption. To find out where these research chemicals actually come from, you have to look overseas. The majority are synthesized in massive foreign factories before bouncing through multiple unregulated middlemen. Once that supply chain loses oversight, the biological risks multiply. Vials often contain incorrect concentrations, completely different compounds, or bacterial contamination that can trigger severe immune reactions upon injection. Injecting a gray market research chemical you bought off the internet is the biological equivalent of eating gas station sushi. You are taking a massive, unnecessary gamble on quality control. The current peak of this optimization trend is a practice known as stacking, where users simultaneously inject combinations of TRT, NAD+, and multiple gray market peptides. Inside the body, this creates a chaotic environment. The user is simultaneously pushing cellular growth pathways, energy production, and hormone signals to their absolute limits. The terrifying reality is there's absolutely zero clinical data on how these overlapping interventions interact inside humans long-term. This level of unregulated layering creates a live human experiment, elevating the risk of organ failure or cancer through pathways science hasn't yet mapped. FDA-approved medications under clinical supervision provide a framework for managed risk. Without that oversight, users are essentially gambling with unknown biological outcomes. If you want the most thoroughly evidence-backed, side-effect-free superstack in existence, it already exists. It consists of consistent sleep, adequate daily protein, progressive weightlifting, and strict calorie control. Real longevity and health result from years of boring discipline rather than mystery syringes ordered from the internet.